Hey everybody, Wayne here. In today's Let's Chat, I wanted to talk about the Kickstarter for Point Blank, V is for Victory. This game is designed by Sean Druelinger, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and published by Lock and Load Publishing. Now, I saw the Kickstarter, I was looking forward to it, and let me just preface, by the way, in saying that this video, I'm definitely going to have some thoughts on it that are not just 100%, oh, hey, this looks great, I can't wait for it, take a look at it, maybe you should back it too. There's going to be some other stuff going on here, some other stuff I want to talk about. So I hope I get a lot of comments from you guys. Hopefully a lot of you share your thoughts and just take a look at kind of what's going on with this Kickstarter. So I think it's kind of interesting what's going on. Not all good, not all bad, just interesting. So Point Blank, V is for Victory is a... Let's switch over to the Kickstarter page. We can take a look at that instead of looking at me, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. All the way. There we go. All right, so Point Blank, V is for Victory is a card game of squad-level combat in World War II, inspired by the Lock and Load tactical game system. The game launched over a week ago, and as of this writing, you can see it has $25,000 pledged of a $20,000 goal. So it has reached its funding number, so it will be funded. Now, there's a couple interesting things going on with this game. So the game launched with the solitaire component being the 14th stretch goal, either 13th or 14th, at a much higher dollar amount than the goal. Now, I don't have any of the old numbers, so they changed some of the numbers on it, not goal-wise, but the numbers for the, let's scroll down to the stretch goals. So they had changed the numbers on the stretch goals. I think, I want to say the solo, and I hate to, I don't want to be wrong and, invalidate my point here, but I believe it was closer to 60 or 70,000. Now the highest stretch goal right now is only 50,000. We'll get to that in a second, but it was way up there, way up there. The feedback, everyone, including, I did not put any feedback yet because I hadn't backed it. And I believe you have to be a backer to comment. Let's see. Only backers post comments. Yep. So anyway, I had looked at it, looking at the game, and I saw it, and I saw that the solo module was actually a separate thing unless they reach the stretch goal, or you could purchase it separately. And I thought, okay, I kind of thought it would be included with it. Well, anyway, based on all the feedback and all the people were basically like, listen, you have a card game, tactical squad level game. Like, how does this not have a solitaire component kind of built in? Well, they moved up the stretch goal, made it the first one for the solitaire, and made it only 21K. So that's been locked in. That's been achieved. So the game will now come with a solitaire mode. And then I noticed as I kept watching it, several days later, as the game was pretty slow to gather pledges, the rest of the stretch goals were combined and or significantly reduced in price. So it stands at 25K. They have a few stretch goals have been achieved. Scroll back down and take a look. 1, 2, so they were spread out. I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars in between each of them. Now it's 21, 22, 24, 26. So the 24 is unlocked here. I'm guessing they're going to get to 26. Who knows where else they're going to make it? And if you go all the way down, the highest one is now 50. So the game. Let's talk about the problems and challenges the Kickstarter's facing. So I worry that the pledge price, so let's take a look. I worry that it's high. So let's take a look at it. For the regular game, to just pledge for it, receive one copy of Point Blank with the stretch goals, it's going to be $85. Shipping separate, that's standard. I don't care that shipping separate. That's pretty standard with Kickstarters. So pledge of $85. The MSRP is $125. I know when I mouse over, it's really hard to see. I don't know if you guys can see it a little easier. It's 85. Hopefully you can, and it may be hard zoomed in. Apologies if it's hard to see, but basically 85 for the game, and then you get the stretch goals with it. MSRP is $125. Now, I think that's hurting the game's Kickstarter reception. So I believe a direct competitor for this game is Warfighter World War II from DBG. I don't believe they've necessarily said that, but I think it's pretty clear because multiple comments from people, and that's what we're looking at, right? We're looking at a card game that you can play now solo. We'll have a solo component. It does have multiplayer, but same thing with Warfighter. You can technically play it multiplayer. It's more of a solitaire game initially with multiplayer as an option, against the system. This is maybe more of you can play against each other, or you can have the system play the enemy. Either way, I'd say it's fair to call that a pretty direct competitor, right? Warfighter World War II from DBG. Now, we got to give Point Blank here credit. It looks like it's going to launch with probably twice the card count of Warfighter World War II in the core game. So on here, it's, if you go down and look, so it's going to be 520 poker-sized cards, 70 mini-sized cards. That's the base game. You know, as you see, 698, so almost 700 with stretch goals, 119 of the smaller cards with stretch goals. So, you know, you can't necessarily say with all the stretch goals because only 3 or 4 have been unlocked, so you don't know for sure. Somewhere between 590 cards total here, or, you know, what would be 817. I believe Warfighter World War II, if I looked, it was 280 in the core game. So you're getting, you know, many more cards, more than twice as many cards. Now, however, though, you can get a copy of Warfighter World War II from a retailer like Miniature Market for $45. I just looked. Or the MSRP, if you want to look at that, is $60, which that doesn't really help. Either way, it doesn't help Point Blank, right? Because $85 for the pledge, $125 MSRP. So less than half MSRP for Warfighter World War II. Now you could say, hey, you're getting less than half the cards. That's fair enough. So card for card, there is definitely a slight, possibly growing value advantage for Point Blank when you do card for card cost comparison. But man, that entry price is steep for a card game. Really steep, in my opinion. You know, $85 plus shipping just to get in the core game. I mean, $125 MSRP for a card game, I think that's a lot to ask. And I think that's where you're seeing how slow the Kickstarter is moving. I was looking at this one before it launched, like I said, but after seeing the actual price, just to get into the core game, you know, get into it at the core level, right now, I think I'm going to pass. And you may feel differently, and I would love for you to share your opinion if you do feel differently, if you think that, hey, you know, nope, look at all the stuff you get. Now let's kind of look at the components overall, just a quick little look at them. So you get a map, two-piece map, 38 by 32. You know, you can see it's these pieces here. Warfighter, it comes with like a 17 by 36 map because that's what, you know, the cards go out on the like board. 2 times counter sheets, 150 counters. Again, that's a Warfighter. Depending on the Warfighter game you get, is either I think 2, 3, or 4. I can't remember exactly what Warfighter World War II is, but I think Warfighter Modern was 2 counter sheets. So, and then they're individually punched now, all that stuff. So, you know, good quality, and just like Lock and Load Publishing will be good quality. So really, it comes to the cards. You know, how many cards you're getting. Again, you are getting a lot more cards in Point Blank. Man, you're paying for them. And I don't know if locking that in, I almost feel like that's too many cards for a core game. That instead of having, you know, 700 regular poker size and then 119 with stretch goals, let's go maxed out. You got all the stretch goals unlocked. This is full box. 817 cards in a core game. I mean, where's you got to have a lot of faith you're going to like it to buy into it. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not even saying anything about the game, whether it's going to be good or not. I don't know. But man, saying, you know, the minimum, I need $85 from you to get into this game, and you don't even know if you're going to like it. Versus, you know, you pick up Warfighter for $45 from a retailer. And if you buy from a lot of these retailers, you buy, say, a couple games at the same time, you get free shipping a lot of times. So again, you know, prices change. It's hard to always compare prices from place to place. I don't often do that in my videos, but in this one, I just felt it was really fair to look at them and say, man, the value on this, although theoretically good, the upfront cost is so high. I feel like that's going to be a barrier to a lot of people. I think you're feeling that in the comments. You're seeing that in these comments. Like, you know, you're seeing comments of people saying, hey, you know, well, this is lack of advertising, but some people are slow. A relaunch with, this guy says, a relaunch with new pricing, including the pricing with stretch goals and retail, makes this campaign more attractive. High shipping isn't helping. Again, shipping is hard. I can't really blame them for shipping. Everyone charges a lot for shipping. That's just the reality. But I think having the, you know, people are questioning, hey, I thought it'd be higher in pledges. Someone canceled their pledge. I'd like to see a solo playthrough. You know, Sean, designer, at least did, you know, he popped up here and said, hey, we're working on putting a video together to show this, but there's not one yet. Someone else comments, pledging is going to very slow pace. I'm not trying to pile on. I'm just looking at it thinking, oh man, I don't know if this is really happening. Like this, it's going to fund. Look, it's going to fund. It's already over the goal. It's going to have a solo component in the box. So 12 days to go, plenty of time to get more money. I just think that, based on what I recall from Lock and Load Publishing's previous Kickstarters, many of which, or some of which I backed anyway, some of which, I guess I can't say many because I don't know if some of them I haven't always been into. I think the last one I didn't, World of War, but I backed Space Infantry Resurgence. I feel like Space Infantry Resurgence, an expensive game, did really well. I still don't know if this one's going to knock it out of the park. Is it going to fund? It already did. It's going to knock it out of the park. I have my doubts. So let me know what you think. Is this one look interesting to you? Does the price a little steep? Kind of feel what I'm saying? What do you say? No, Wayne, I don't agree. I think you're getting a ton of it. It's a good value no matter what. Totally worth it. I don't think they're having any problems. It's just that, right now people aren't buying games, or, even some other explanation for why. Lock and Load Publishing, which does a lot of excellent games, and I've covered a lot on my channel, seems to be struggling with this one, just compared to their previous Kickstarter. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Let me know. Otherwise, until next time, guys, later.